breath of fresh air is what it is.
Yep. Well, we do have a caller because people have cried out. They said, "Where's Charlie?" And Shirley from Madisonville is the first person on the line.
Morning, Shirley.
Good morning,
Good
Charlie.
morning.
I have some concerns about my shrubbery.
Okay, let's hear it.
I have 8 Autolucan laurel that have brown leaves
Is that
on
it?
them.
That's the autolucan. I brought
Yes.
that along just to show people. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I have 1 Nandina that is completely brown.
Uh-huh.
I have 4, and I don't know how to pronounce this. It's spelled Lorapet.
Loropetalum?
Right.
They're loropetalum.
That show no sign of life that I can see.
Okay.
Am I just rushing it?
Yes,
should
you are.
I do something?
Yeah.
Should I fertilize? What should I do?
Okay, were they in my landscape, here is what I would do. I would stay off of the ground, and I want to say that to everyone. Stay off of the ground. You walk on your soil now. You change the structure of it for a long period of time, and it's all detrimental. So stay off of the soil. But when it gets to be a bit drier, we have no more rain, say Tuesday or Wednesday, go in and put down some 10-10-10 or 12-12-12 fertilizer, or any type of fertilizer that does not have a weed control base to it, just straight fertilizer. And sprinkle maybe 1/3 of a cup around each plant, okay? Come back in about a week and look and see if you see any growth coming from the stems. And even if you don't, I would trim those plants back 1/3. That's all going to jumpstart that and cause it to start, if there's any life left in those plants, which I think there are, that fertilizing and trimming it back about 1/3 is going to bring them on.
Okay. Stacy's on the line from Rockport.
Morning, Stacy. Good morning, Stacy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Turn your TV down.
Turn TV down?
Turn TV down so you can't hear us talk because it's confusing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Got her down?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what's your question?
I have a peace lily
Okay.
plant, and it's in a pot that it came in,
Uh-huh.
and I was wondering, can I repot that, or do I need to leave it in there?
It's
And
all,
if it's okay to put it outside.
it's all according to how long it's been. If you just got the peace lily and it's in that pot, it probably isn't root bound. If you've had that peace lily in that can for more than, let's say, 9 months, I would take it out, put in some fresh soil, go with a can that's just a little bit larger, and a lot of good things happen to that peace lily when you do that. But it's a great plant, it's a great house plant, and long about the middle of May, you can take it outside and enjoy it on your patio. But I would repot it only if you've had it in the house for about nine months.
Okay. We were talking about this plant here.
Yeah.
And you were saying, okay, so it's got brown leaves.
Yeah,
versus-
she mentioned Nandina domestica. She mentioned the Autolucan cherry laurels. I am concerned particularly with Abelia kaleidoscope. All of these plants are extremely hardy for this area, but they've all either turned brown, they look dead, and you're saying, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Well, you don't force the issue. You simply wait about another week, do a little bit of fertilizing. In another week, you just trim it back about 1/3, and that's going to jumpstart it, and you'll start noticing, I believe, some new growth. If you don't, after another week, if you do not notice any new growth at all, and you scratch the bark, and there's no green under the bark, you know the plant's dead, and you're going to have to replace it.
So, okay, but this is this is pretty standard. You know
It
that
is. Right now it is.
Okay.
And it's not normal, but the
It's a
winter
lot of-
we had has just been atrocious.
Okay. Martha from Evansville is on the line with a question for Charlie.
Morning, Martha.
Hi, Charlie. Got a question about a young magnolia tree just planted last year, about 5 foot tall. There are no green leaves left on it. They're all brown, and it doesn't look like any green is coming back. Is that normal for the winter we've had? Does that mean the tree's dead?
Yeah. I would say, just as we've talked about before, I believe it's going to take some time. Scratch the bark, and if you see green just on the inside, of that bark, you're going to be okay. A little bit of fertilizer, and it should leaf back out again. But what it teaches us is patience.
Huh?
Huh?
It's a lesson I need to learn. Maybe I need to start gardening.
Mike? Good morning, Mike.
There,
Yeah.
it's about 12 and a half foot tall, and it's about, all say, 2.5 inches in diameter.
Mm-hmm.
And from the ground to the first limb, it seems like the bark around there is cracking and wanting to peel back a little bit.
Okay, and what type
Is
of
there reasoning for that, or something I can do to stop that?
what type of plant is it?
I don't know, some kind of Bradford pear of some
Okay, it's a
type.
Bradford pear. Okay, I got one other question to ask you. What side is this cracking of the bark on? Is it on the north, east, south, or west?
It's on the west,
Okay.
and it kind of, it's on the
Okay.
west side.
Okay, you bring up a very, very good point. As you get into the wintertime, the sun hits that bark, and just on the inside of the bark is the cambium layer, and it's maybe a 1/64 of an inch thick. That is the transportation system for the plant. That's where everything happens. That's where it gets its nutrients, its water. Everything has an exchange there. Okay? When the winter comes and you've got that southwestern sun beating down on that bark, and then at night the sun goes down and you get sub-zero temperatures, that quick fluctuation in temperature, it makes it think it's active, the cambium layer is active, and then when you get the sub-zero temperatures, it pops open like a ripe watermelon. And that's what you're seeing is that cracking. How you stop it? About the 1st of January or the middle of December, wrap or get a plastic wrap, get a 4-inch pipe, that's the plastic pipe that you can use, just slit it, put it around the base of the tree up to the bottom of the branching. You will protect that sun from hitting that bark and causing it to be activated, and you won't have that cracking, okay? So I would say it's actually, it's sun scald, and you can stop the sun scald with the wrapping.
Okay, let's get to James. This will be our last caller, James. And then
Oh,
talk.
no!
Oh, no, I
Go
shouldn't
ahead.
have said that. Okay, James, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Morning, James.
Yeah, all righty.
Yes.
I want to talk to Charlie.
Well, he's right there.
Okay, Charlie,
Yes.
I want to talk to you about the moles in my yard. I have
right.
them every year, and
Yes.
I've tried different things, don't do much good. So I wondered what you could tell me about it, what I could get.
Okay, I was just with a gentleman, I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning his name, out in Posey County this past week. His name's Dave Hunter, and he uses a guy from, he catches moles, and he's on the
Sorry, he's talking to you.
webnet. He's on the on a website. If you call our number, I'll give you that person's name. He traps them, and he's very good at it. He charges like $50 a year, and for every mole he catches, it's like $2 or $3. It's extremely reasonable. The other thing you can try are those little worms, those worms that mimic a real earthworm that you can purchase anywhere, that have the heavy metal in them and that will kill and do a very good job of killing the eastern mole. And the eastern mole gets about 3 to 4 ounces. But those two things are the mole trap, which is considerably, it's a little bit harder to use, but if used correctly, you catch most of your moles in the morning. So I would get a hold of me and I'll give you that guy's name. The trap moles, there's several of them out there. The worms that 85% of their diet are earthworms. That's another good way to go. I'll tell you about that if you want to know. And number 3 is the mole trap that does a very good job of catching them if you put it in the right place.
Okay, we do have one more caller.
I'm sorry. Okay,
Gary.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
get
yeah.
to Gary real quick.
Gary. Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, really the question I'm wanting to ask you, all right, really what I really have a garden here in St. Charles, and man, I heard that you can't put donkey manure on the garden. Is that true or false?
No, you can put donkey manure on there. Donkey manure won't hurt anything. No.
What?
I say you can. I say you can either put it in a pile, let it break down, or you can put it right onto the garden and mix it in with the existing soil. I would do it if I had donkey manure, unless somebody would tell me differently. I would do it.
Don't we all have it? Okay. You brought a couple things here to share.
Yeah.
This is so spring, isn't
It
this?
is. But now, see, you're going to be seeing this in the tri-state area probably in about another 3 weeks. So what I'm bringing you is an advance ticket to what it's going to look like in about 3 weeks. This is a Dicentra spectabilis, also known as bleeding heart. And the thing about bleeding hearts is it does not like a direct sun. There are probably 5 to 8 varieties of it, absolutely gorgeous. They come in a deeper red and even to a white, but they'll bloom for about 3 weeks. The point I want to make about them is one is really satisfactory for a nice woodland perennial garden, and you want to plant it where it has some protection from the wind. That's really important. A little bit of sun protection, semi-shade, maybe no more than 2 hours of full sun a day, but they like the wind protection because once they get up to this height, if they get any forcible wind, it breaks them off and everything you've worked towards, that is gone.
They're delicate.
Yes, and so that's a Dicentra, that's bleeding hearts. And they're telling us to wrap it up. This is a Phlox subulata. Everybody loves them. They'll bloom for about 2.5 to 3 weeks. And this is a blue moon. This is the new Phlox subulata that really people are going towards. That's it.
Okay.
All right.